Next question says, one negative consequence of using automation to improve manufacturing production is that 1. Production will often slow down. 2. Costs often rise for producers. 3. Prices often increase for consumers. And 4. Factories often need fewer workers. And so, what is the impact of automation? Right? Automation in a manufacturing setting, almost 10 times out of 10 basically. If you're introducing automation, your production is going to become cheaper and you'll be able to produce more. And so these first two answer choices are going to be wrong. Right? Production is going to go up and costs will go down for producers. So 1 and 2 are not going to be the right answers here. So he says that prices often increase for consumers. Well, I mean, we can take a look at this on a supply and demand graph, right? Price here, quantity here, demand, supply. And what happens when supply goes up as a result of cheaper labor or cheaper production costs, right? Supply shifts to the right, and look at what happens to the price, right? The price has gone down. It went from here to here, right? And so that is not going to be what we see for consumers. So 3 is also going to be incorrect. So 4 is what we're left with. Factories often need fewer workers, and this is true. You can imagine, it's very intuitive to us that when you replace people with machines, you're going to need fewer workers. You just need a few people to operate the machines. You don't need as many workers to go in and do everything by hand. And so factories need fewer workers. That is one of the negative consequences of using automation. And we see that this is a big thing in the current economy as well. People used to say that loss of jobs is due to outsourcing to other countries, but in fact, it's mostly due to automation. And a lot of people, there's been presidential, like if you follow the election, the universal basic income is meant to offset the effects of automation on the workforce in replacing a lot of the tasks that are currently being done by people. And so 4 is going to be the right answer here. Let's take a look at the previous tutor's answer. Factories often need fewer workers. This is correct. And they say that the complete automation of a manufacturing process leads to a significant increase in productivity and output for a firm and reduces average costs in the long run. Cost reductions lead to an increase in supply that drive prices down in the market, subsequently benefiting consumers in the process with reduced prices. However, one negative consequence of automation is observed in the form of a reduced requirement for labor. As the dependency on labor reduces with increased substitution of labor with capital, factories need fewer workers, compelling them to lay off their employees. So good. And we can mark that as correct.